When Ronaldo and Barron Trump entered a high-end restaurant in Los Angeles, they didn't expect their presence to spark whispers and stares. But as Barron adjusted his iconic red MAGA hat, the tension in the room became palpable. The hat, a quiet reflection of his beliefs, quickly became a flashpoint for what would soon escalate into a public showdown. What started as a simple lunch outing turned into a polarizing event that left not only the restaurant manager, but an entire city, grappling with questions of judgment, respect, and understanding. What happened next shocked everyone. The restaurant, La Terrace, was nestled in the heart of Los Angeles, renowned for its exclusivity and charm. Marble floors gleamed under soft ambient lighting, and the walls were adorned with contemporary art pieces. The air was filled with the clinking of glasses and the hum of quiet, sophisticated chatter. Every table seemed to host someone noteworthy, an A-list actor, a tech billionaire, or a well-known influencer. Ronaldo and Barron stepped into this luxurious space, their presence immediately noticeable. Ronaldo's commanding aura and effortless style contrasted with Barron's youthful demeanor, yet both shared a quiet confidence. Barron's red MAGA hat, perched comfortably on his head, stood out like a beacon in the sea of muted tones and designer attire. The hostess greeted them with a practiced smile, momentarily hesitating as her eyes landed on Barron's hat. Recovering quickly, she led them to a table near the window, offering a view of the bustling city street outside. As they sat down, Ronaldo leaned back, exuding his signature poise, while Barron scanned the menu with calm curiosity. The restaurant buzzed subtly as their presence became the subject of quiet whispers. At a nearby table, a couple exchanged glances, their hushed conversation betraying their curiosity. Waitstaff gathered near the bar, stealing glances at the duo while murmuring among themselves. Barron, oblivious to the attention, adjusted his hat as he chatted with Ronaldo about the menu. Meanwhile, the restaurant manager, a man in his 40s with a sharp suit and an authoritative presence, observed from across the room. His expression tightened as his eyes fixated on Barron's hat. Tapping his pen against the counter, he whispered to a waiter who nodded and moved away hesitantly. The tension in the room grew almost imperceptibly. Ronaldo, ever perceptive, caught the occasional glance from other diners but dismissed it, focusing instead on his conversation with Barron. However, the manager's discomfort was evident as he straightened his tie and strode toward their table, determination etched on his face. As the manager approached, his polished shoes clicking against the marble floor, the energy in the room shifted. Conversation softened, and diners turned their attention toward the unfolding moment. Ronaldo and Barron, still seated, looked up simultaneously, their calm expressions meeting the manager's resolute gaze. "Good afternoon," the manager began, his voice measured but firm. "I'm afraid we have a policy against political apparel in this establishment. I'll have to ask you to remove the hat or leave the restaurant." Barron blinked, momentarily caught off guard. He placed his earbuds on the table and replied with calm respect. "I wasn't aware of such a policy. Could you point it out to me?" The manager hesitated, his hand gesturing vaguely toward the entrance. "It's part of our code of conduct," he insisted. "We aim to keep this space neutral and comfortable for all guests." Ronaldo leaned forward slightly, his tone as steady as his gaze. "We're not here to cause any trouble, we just came for a meal like everyone else." The manager's stance stiffened. "This isn't personal, but rules are rules. If you refuse to comply, I'll have to ask you to leave." Barron exchanged a glance with Ronaldo, who gave a subtle nod. Barron stood slowly, his composure unbroken. "If that's how you feel, we'll respect your decision," he said evenly, gathering his belongings. The restaurant fell into an awkward hush as the duo made their way to the door. The soft thud of the closing door was the only sound that broke the heavy silence. Inside, whispers erupted among diners, some condemning the manager's actions, others expressing quiet approval. At the bar, a waiter leaned toward the manager. "Do you think that was necessary?" he asked cautiously. The manager waved him off with a curt reply. "We have rules for a reason. This is my restaurant and I'll enforce them." Outside the restaurant, a bystander captured a photo of Barron and Ronaldo walking away, their expressions calm but firm. The image, paired with the caption, "Ronaldo and Barron Trump kicked out for a MAGA hat. Is this the world we live in?" hit social media within minutes. The post exploded, sparking thousands of comments and shares. Online debates raged. Some praised the manager for upholding his policy, while others criticized the restaurant for what they deemed intolerance. Comments flooded in, "So much for inclusivity. Rules are rules. If you don't like them, don't go there." Ronaldo and Barron handled this with more grace than I ever could. Meanwhile, Ronaldo and Barron sat on a bench in a nearby park, reflecting on the incident. Ronaldo broke the silence. "This wasn't about the hat, Barron. It's about how quick people are to judge." Barron nodded, his gaze thoughtful. "It's frustrating. We're losing the ability to talk to each other, to understand different perspectives." Barron scrolled through his phone, seeing the polarized reactions online. A determined expression crossed his face. "What if we use this moment to show people a better way?" Ronaldo smiled. "I'm with you. Let's turn this into something positive." They began reaching out to friends and organizations, brainstorming ideas for an event that could bridge divides. The goal, to show that even in disagreement, unity and respect are possible. Back at the restaurant, the manager scrolled through the restaurant's social media pages. Negative reviews and critical comments poured in, making his stomach knot. A longtime regular emailed him, "I've always loved this place, but today's decision disappointed me deeply. Is this what neutrality looks like?" The manager leaned back in his chair, grappling with the weight of his decision. The following morning, Barron and Ronaldo announced their plan, a public event titled, "United We Stand, Building Bridges, Not Walls." The location, directly outside the restaurant where the incident occurred, their vision was clear: to create a space where people could come together, discuss their differences, and find unity through understanding. Within hours, social media lit up with excitement. Influencers, activists, and supporters amplified the message with hashtags like #BuildingBridges and #Unity in Action. Donations began pouring in from across the country, and volunteers lined up to help. The event begins. The once quiet block outside the restaurant transformed into a lively hub of activity. Food trucks lined the street, live music filled the air, and colorful banners carried messages like "Respect over judgment" and "Together we thrive." A stage was set up at the center, surrounded by booths for local charities and mentorship programs. Families, students, and professionals gathered, their differences set aside for the day. Barron, dressed simply but confidently, took the stage first. Holding the microphone, he addressed the crowd with calm conviction. "Just a few days ago, I was asked to leave this restaurant because of a hat. But this event isn't about that moment, it's about what came after. It's about showing that even when we disagree, we can still listen, learn, and grow together." The crowd erupted into applause, moved by his words. Ronaldo's contribution. Ronaldo followed with his own speech, his voice filled with sincerity. "I've been fortunate to see the world and meet people from all walks of life. What I've learned is that respect is universal. It's what connects us. Today is proof that we can build bridges where others might see walls." His words resonated deeply, drawing another round of cheers. The manager's redemption. Inside the restaurant, the manager watched the event from the window, his expression conflicted. Encouraged by a staff member, he finally stepped outside. Adjusting his tie nervously, he approached Barron and Ronaldo as the crowd parted to give them space. "I want to apologize," the manager began, his voice heavy with regret. "I acted out of fear, not fairness. Watching what you've done today, it's humbling. You turned something negative into something so powerful." Barron extended his hand, his demeanor gracious. "It takes courage to admit when you're wrong. Thank you for coming out and saying this." Ronaldo added, "Perhaps your restaurant could host an event like this in the future, a place where people come together, not divide." The manager nodded, visibly moved. "I'd like that. Let's make it happen." A united ending. As the event continued, the atmosphere grew even more vibrant. Families shared meals, strangers struck up conversations, and the donation boxes overflowed. The restaurant manager, now part of the crowd, shook hands with attendees and pledged to support the cause. The moral message. Barron took the stage once more to close the event. We all make mistakes. What matters is how we learn and grow from them. Today we proved that unity isn't just possible, it's necessary. Thank you for being here and showing the world that together we can make a difference. The crowd erupted in applause, their cheers echoing through the streets. As the sun set over Los Angeles, Barron and Ronaldo stood side by side, watching as the last of the attendees departed. Above the stage, the banner read, "Building bridges, not walls." The moment was a powerful reminder that even in times of conflict, grace, understanding, and proactive solutions can lead to growth and connection.